What's going on, world? Welcome to Clearing the Wreckage podcast. I'm your voice and your host, Kareem A. Rashid. And once again, I don't know what you got going on. You could be on the toilet or you could be getting off the toilet. Hell, for all I know, you could be wiping your tushy. All I know is that I'm ready. So I hope that you're ready to clear the wreckage. Yes, indeed. Let's get into it. What's going on with you? I walked into the coffee shop. Yeah. Barista, you already, yep, Kareem, I got you. We know your drink. We got it down. Come on in here and get your drink. Yes, thank you so much. 5 ice cubes only are in there. You made it perfect. What's up? Let's sit down. Let's have a conversation. I'm adjusting my camera a little bit, y'all. Sorry for those that are on YouTube that are watching. Anyway, let's get right into it. Last week, we discussed the concept of one day at a time. We ain't gonna speed through this, but it's not gonna be that long of an episode like normal. Sorry for being so long-winded with y'all. I know y'all be like, golly, I got places to go, people to see. So let's get right into it, shall we? Last week, we discussed the concept of one day at a time. Within that discussion with you, I stated how I was focused on getting through the day. I had to be focused on getting through the day. Why? Do you remember? Because I was going through trying my best not to resort back to my old ways, back to my old identity, right? Remember that discussion? If you don't remember, it's important that you go back to that episode before you come to this episode. I talked about also how it helped me to literally take it one moment at a time. Getting through one moment, then I got through the next, which brings us to our topic today. Yeah, the present. Yep, I'm going to talk about it. I know a lot of times we don't want to talk about the present. We just want to talk about the future. We just want to talk about the past. We don't even want to talk about the present. Our mind is racing everywhere else besides right now. Even right now, when you're listening to me, you're probably thinking about all the things that you got to do. All the things. And you're just sitting there on the toilet. You're even thinking about the next turd that's got to come out of your booty. You're not even thinking about the one that needs to come out right now that you're trying to push out. Come on. Oh, man, come on, man. Gosh, Kareem, I want to listen to you, but boy, this turd. You ain't even focused on that. You're like, man, is there more in there? Woo! Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Anyway, so let's talk about how it was for me just a little bit back then in 2016. And I'm going to share something with you at the end of this. I'm going to share something that I wrote that kind of helped me when I was actually in the present moment. Man, it's I got to share this piece that I wrote with you. But for now, let's talk about kind of what, like how did I learn to stay in the present moment, how it helped me enjoy each moment. So as someone who suffers from anxiety, it was difficult, and this is difficult. So if you're someone like me listening to this podcast, and I assume that you relate to me in some kind of way. You relate to me in some kind of way. You identify with everything that I state, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be here right now in this coffee shop in the present moment with me, or on the toilet in the present moment. with me listening, right? So, because here is why it was difficult. Because, see, someone like me with anxiety, let me share something with you. It comes from me thinking about my past mistakes or the future mistakes or doom, right? Let me just share that with you real quick. Here are some of the thoughts. When I am in anxiety, here's what I'm normally thinking. And this is exactly what I was thinking back then in that time frame of 2016 when I was trying to do this recovery thing again, trying to stay sober. Here is my thoughts. Here were my thoughts. Man, this is too much. Man, I don't know if I can do it. Oh man, what if I can't? What if I'm not meant to succeed? What if I mess up? Man, wait. What about all the times you have been screwing up in the past? Gosh, you screwed up so much. Man, just a few days ago you were drinking. Man, you only made it a couple of days without drinking. But you know you're going to mess up again, right? You're going to mess this thing up. In a few days, you'll be drinking again because you are a failure. You can't do anything right, Kareem. You'll never get the 30 days. Definitely not. And I don't know why you're even thinking that you can make it a year or even 3 years. Again, that was a flop, obviously. Because when you look back, you can look at those past 3 years and you're like, man, how did you even make it those 3 years? That was a flop, Kareem. You can't do this again. What makes you think that you can make it? What is different this time, Kareem? What is different this time? Did you hear all of that? Did you hear that? That's anxiety. All those thoughts right there is anxiety. And if you listen closely, you can see, well, you could hear that these thoughts were all on the past and in the future. So I've already discussed with you last week some of the things that I did that helped me to get through the day. So here are some of the things that helped me get through each moment or stay in the present moment. The first thing was when I woke up, I went straight into my closet. You remember the closet? Remember I told you about the closet that I cleaned out and I put like all of these different things? Okay, so I don't really have to explain that to you again, but I'll just go over it again just in case you missed it. I had this closet where I place affirmations, prayers, and thank yous on the wall, right? So I went in there at the start of each day and I shut the door. That's the key right there. I shut the door. Then after I shut the door, I turned on the light switch and I sat quietly. Whoa, wait a second. Let me start to preach up in here. Quietly, I sat. Remember how I told you that silence is the only thing that can bring about awareness? Yes. So I sat quiet. At first, I would sit quiet for a few minutes. Then I would take my journal out and I would write whatever came to my mind, whether it was a thank you note, words of affirmation, or a prayer. When I was done writing, I would tape it to the wall, then read it, and then, this is the cool part. You ready? I would then read every single thing that I placed on that wall out loud. Now, obviously, at the beginning stages of that, it wasn't much on the wall, so it didn't really take that long because it wasn't like I was, I had a whole bunch of stuff on that wall to recite, right? It was just a few minutes of me being present, enclosed in a place of quietness. That right there might be your first step of experiencing the present moment. Woo! That might be it right there. So if you're listening to this and you're like, well, Kareem, I don't know what it's like to be in the present moment. Go somewhere quiet and shut the door. And enclose yourself in a quiet place. And sit quietly. Just try that first for a few minutes. But that's what I did. And then, so writing and then reciting these things in the quietness. When I tell you, this is something that kept me in the present moment because I was in that moment, enclosed with no distractions. That is the first thing I did each day. Also, the key to this was me waking up intentionally with enough time to ensure that I have my moment with no distractions. This moment for me is vital. This moment for me is precious. I need this moment. Without this moment, I will fail. I will not succeed in the way that I am meant to succeed throughout this day if I do not take this moment. I must be intentional. I must get up in enough time to ensure that I have my moment. Yes, that is practicing being present. The second thing was me getting dressed. And I know this sounds kind of weird. Like, what? Getting dressed, Kareem? Like, that kept you in the present moment? It did. Because how many of us are rushing to get dressed? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. I know you are. Or how many of us thinking about the time? Like, we're getting dressed and we're looking at the clock. Or we're getting dressed or we look at our phones. Or we're getting dressed or, something else happens, right? Or we're thinking about, man, how slow we are moving. Or we're telling ourselves, speed up, hurry up. Gotta hurry up. Sometimes even it may be just going through wardrobe after wardrobe, confused about what to wear for the day. I can't wear that. I wore that yesterday. Or I can't wear that because I plan to wear this 2 days from now. The past or the future. So while I was getting dressed, I would intentionally focus on each item of clothing that was covering my body. I know that sounds really weird, but when I would put on my drawers, I'll be like, these are my drawers that I am putting on. Put one leg, the right leg in the right side of the underwear. Pull that side up. Lift your other leg. Pull that side up, place them tight around your hips. Now, you can move on to the next item. That's literally how it was while I was getting dressed. Ooh, the next thing is I would make coffee and just wait right there for it to be made. I had already had all my clothes on. I had my shoes on. I didn't have to focus on anything else. I was intentional with that. I'm getting dressed, each item at a time. When I am completely dressed, then I will move on to the next task. So as I was making coffee, though, I would listen to the sound of the coffee brewing. I would listen to it pouring into the carafe, and then I would watch it pour into my cup. Oh my gosh, present moment. Like watching each moment of the brewing of the coffee take place kept me focused on the present moment. Not anticipate, hurry up, coffee. Hurry up, man. I'm tired. I need this coffee. Hurry up. Can you hurry up and brew? Let me go do something else while the coffee's brewing. No. I just sat there and I waited patiently for the coffee to brew. And I experienced each sound as the coffee was brewing. And I was like, wow, that's pretty doggone awesome. That I could place this coffee in this pot and I could start hearing it go make the noise. And then I can literally see the coffee coming out of the thing being poured into the carafe. Then I can see the carafe fill up. And then I can take it once it's done and pour the coffee into my cup and watch it pour into my cup and be like, oh my gosh, this is just coffee beans. Now liquid. Wow. What an amazing discovery, right? Like, so being present helps you think about those things. Anyway, so the next thing I would do was I would intentionally walk or run all the way to the recovery meeting. The first one that was happening in the morning on that day. Yep. Why did I say the first one? You're probably like, wait, why you got to go to the first? Because I had to be intentional about, now I shared this last week with you, I had to be intentional about placing my recovery first. Placing my recovery first. I said, if I'm going to recover this time, if something's going to be different this time, this has to come first. It has to come first. So that's what I decided to do. Be intentional about going to the first one. And I walked or I ran. Yes. So while I was walking or running, I would listen to my breath. So if I'm running, I'm like, if I'm walking, I'm like, and I would listen to the sound of my shoes hitting the pavement. Bah, 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 bah. And I would feel the sweat oozing out of my pores. And I would look down to see each step I was taking every now and then. And I would notice that one foot is going in front of the other foot. So being present helps you notice the simple things that you probably will not even notice throughout your day. You know why? You know why you're not even noticing that you're breathing? Because you just think it's automatic. You just think, oh, I woke up, let me just go throughout my day. There's nothing mysterious about this at all. You know, there's nothing mysterious about this. I gave my own self breath. Yep, I do this every day. I just breathe. I was able to give my own self breath. Man, get out of here with that, man. Being present helps you focus on that. When I was breathing, I was like, where is this coming from? Have you ever thought about that? No, because you probably was walking or running and you were like, man, how long is it going to take me to get to this place? Man, I got to hurry up because I got things to do after this. I got to go to work. I got to go do this. You're thinking about the future. You're thinking about the future. And there was a study done, a Harvard study done. This is way back in 2010. I'm sure the analysis of the study has upped in percentage. But back then it says 47% of the mind wanders. Wanders, I should say. 47%. It just keeps on going and keeps on going. 47% of the time. It's just going back and forth from the past to the future. Yep. So I would notice one foot was going in front of the other, right? And that just helped me to know that I was doing the next right thing. I'm doing the next right thing. I am placing one foot in front of the other. And eventually, with that, I will get to where I need to be, or just where I need to be. I will get through this moment because one foot goes down on the pavement. That's one moment. Then the next foot goes down on the pavement. Then that's another moment. It gave me hope. So these are just some of the things that I did to help me stay in the present moment. I told you this episode wasn't going to be that long. Notice that I was aware of my senses, though. So let's notice that real quick. So the sense of sound or hearing, and the sense of touch, and the sense of sight. So when I was walking or running, I'm breathing, right? The sense of sound or hearing. And when I would listen to the sound of my shoes hitting the pavement, that was the sense of touch. And then as I was look down and see where my feet are, that's the sense of sight. And so I was practicing being aware of my senses. And isn't that even something that's even more amazing? So this practice helped me stay in the present, and not only that, enjoy the present, and brings about gratitude, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, ooh, I can actually feel the sweat oozing down on my pores. I can feel the sweat dripping. And for some of us, like, oh, that's not a good feeling. No, it's not necessarily a great feeling, but wow, look at all the sweat that I'm producing. And it's just coming out of my pores. And then it's like, wow, I see my feet. So my eyes can see that my feet are in front of me, one after the other, moment by moment. Boom, when my feet hit the ground, that first moment, boom, enjoy it. Wow, my left foot just went in front of the right one. Oh my gosh. And then now my right foot is going in front of the left foot. Like, how does that even happen? I was once a baby. Hold on, let me start preaching to you now. I was once a baby that did not know how to walk. Wow, how does that happen? Gratitude. Man, so as I was doing all these things, I wasn't thinking about time. Or, man, how long is this walk even? You know? Am I ever going to get there? You know, the kids that are in the car when you're going on the trip. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? They just can't stay in the present moment, can they? So, my tip to you is grow up. Don't be a kid. Learn to stay in the present moment. Stop thinking about all the things that you have to do. Stop thinking about the destination. It is about enjoying the journey. Enjoying the journey. I wasn't thinking about, oh man, I should have left the house earlier. Oh, I don't have enough time to walk here. Man, matter of fact, why am I even running? Why am I walking? I don't feel like doing this. Gosh, this is too much. I wasn't focused on any of that. I was enjoying the present. I was enjoying the fact that I had breath. I was enjoying that. I mean, because part of me was like, oh my God. After all the stuff I've done to my lungs, and I'm still breathing, it seems like in full capacity. Wow, this is amazing. Thank you, God. So I could hear my shoes hitting the pavement. I could feel the sweat, and then I could see each step and notice each foot was planted in the present moment. That's what I was just trying to state with you. I just said that moment by moment. One foot went in front of the other. Boop, that's a moment. Each step was a moment. So from that experience and learning to enjoy the present, I was enthusiastic, ready to walk everywhere, to go on walks. This is part of being in the present. Take a walk into nature. Go for runs. Get your lazy behind off the couch. Scrolling. You can't be in the present if you're scrolling on your phone from reel after reel after reel after reel. Or if you just, you turn your TV on and you're like, what's on Netflix? And you cannot make a decision because you are not in the present moment. Anyway, to sit in my closet, I was so excited about that. Those moments were exciting, invigorating. I had no worries, and I was in between space and time. Time did not exist. Not to me, at least. When I'm in the present, and this might just be a fact. I don't know if it is or not, but I'm going to coach you. Come on, Coach Kareem, coach me. When I'm in the present moment, just like I am right now, do you think right now I'm thinking about time? Do you think that I'm sitting up here, I'm talking with you, and I'm thinking about the time You might say, yeah, you are, because you just said something about this episode being short and you're going a little bit longer. Nope, but I'm not. That thought crossed my mind. It did. But you know what? Being in the present, it helps me to look at those thoughts and just let them pass with no judgment, which helps me continue to stay in the present with you and enjoy this moment. I hope you understand what I just said. Let me try to break that down a little bit more for you. So, see, when you're in the future or you're in the past, those thoughts are going back and forth. It's almost like a pendulum. It's just going future, past, future, past, future. Nothing, you're not sitting, it's not stopping. There's no balance. It's not stopping in the middle of the pendulum. It's not stopping. It's just going boop, 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 boop. You know, you ever seen a pendulum? The ball just keeps hitting the other ball, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. A hamster on the wheel. Oh, I'm going. It never stays still. That is what is happening. So when I'm in the present, yeah, those thoughts can come through, but I'm not allowing it to be a pendulum. Catch my drift? I'm allowing that thought to just come through and exit right out because I'm enjoying this moment that I have with you. Does that make sense? All right, I hope it did. Anyway, I might break it down a little bit more for you. So these were just some of the things that I wanted to share with you on how staying in the present was key to my wellness, to my happiness, to my sense of well-being. It gave me courage. It gave me gratitude. It helped me become more self-aware, and it helped me to acknowledge and process whatever emotions that would try to come in without judgment. It helped me to stay grounded. I didn't necessarily look at those thoughts that were coming in and going, oh, man, come on, Kareem. Why are you thinking like this, man? Oh, man. Or, thinking, oh, man, I don't have enough time. And then thinking about the next thing that I got to do. And then beating myself up for not staying in the present. Why can't you focus, man? Why can't you focus? Why can't you just focus? Why are you always so distracted? I'm not saying that to myself. I'm just going, thought, yeah, thought saying, hey, man, been doing this for a long time. Probably should speed up. Okay, thought, yeah, I hear you. Whoop. And let it just roll right through my brain and exit out. Exit stage left. Heavens to Megastroids. Y'all don't know about that. Anyway, so next week we'll probably talk a little bit more about this, or maybe not. But I will tell you this, though. I will be getting more into the now and the present tense with you soon in later discussions. So stay tuned. I will not continue to just constantly take you back to the past. I'm taking you back to the past for a reason. Because I'm one of those people that I feel like I want you to get to know me. And so that's why I'm sharing my story with you. Here's something I wrote, and then I'm going to leave you with this. It is called The Present. Got nothing but space and time in this time and space. Renew my mind just trying to find his face. Thinking that who would knew in time I would find his grace. Peaceful and pleasant. The peace that I'm blessed with when I rest in his presence. A glorious essence, sweet aroma. No longer sleep, this coma, I resurrected. Now I'm up, standing awake, standing tall, erected like a statue. Today, the past, oh, what troubles have you? I'll be glad to face, about face, head on. I remember my head's on straight. Walk through the gates of hell and heaven. What lesson have you learned? Walk through fiery pits and exit without no burns. Walk on hot coals without getting lit. Yes, I'm lit, high as a kite. In this life, I take flight. Spread my wings and glide through my fright. Fears, I see you. I don't fear those demons anymore. I'm ready to explore and drive through these barricades. Don't turn left or take the detour. Brave, no longer a slave in bondage to myself. My health I honor, and it helps me to be honest. Rigorously, I practice these principles literally, writing and reading. I'm literate, sit with literature, fixed on scripture, exercise spiritually, fit. Picture my 10th step in stealth like an assassin. Ninja. In this life, I have a great defender. The snake strikes its venom, but when I let go and let God, the fight's finished. Then I'm replenished with energy. It's really a tough plight for my enemies. It's a shame they must die when they try to step in my vicinity. I'm protected with divinity. You can't get rid of me. My remedy is to trust God and clean house. Up to the stars I beam out of space. Travel to galaxies. These fallacies are what they are. Fake. I don't believe the lies. Get out of my face. As of late, I've been able to remain in a state where all I can say is thanks. Yes, I'm great. So full of this food, I scrape the plate, lick my fingers and all, cause I still want to taste the juice, the oils, asking for more, cause I'm used to being spoiled. A big kid on this playground. Hey now, I'm like 4, full of joy doing cartwheels on the floor, backflips, acrobatics. I hop skip through this madness, faced with too many attachments, so I have to separate and detach with love. Because of love for myself, care, hug myself like a bear, a sweet embrace. Not so long, I need my space. Get out of my own head, no vacancy. Lights red, no place in me to rent for the night or the week. Get vulnerable, admit that I'm weak. Get on my knees, then stand on my feet. Head held high, look to the sky. On today, I set my eyes, hands to my side. Stand up, face forward. The fire is lit up under my feet. It's time to fly toward the present. And there you go. That is the present, my friends, written down for you in poetic form. I wrote that because I was right there in the present moment. I love y'all. I appreciate you. I'll see you next week at the coffee shop. I'll see you next week right here for another great episode of Clearing the Wreckage podcast. As I always leave you, take some time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. Peace.